Hi guys and welcome to Pops. In this lecture we are going to combine the skills you have learned. That is the repeater, the trim path and the pen tool. Now the pen tool somehow is an alien tool in After Effects. It's really not meant to draw too many lines. I'll create a new composition and let's call it trim plus repeater plus pen. Okay, something like this. Yeah, this will be significant when you'll open the composition by yourself. You know, in After Effects, you can have rulers and it's very easy to work with them. They are pretty practical. I will come to view and say show rulers. So these are the rulers. Usually I will use Ctrl R to show the rulers. I will open the info panel and then I will come to view again and say show guides. So I showed the rulers and I want to show the guides. What I want to do is to create guides just in the middle of the composition to be able to create a pen shape that is really starting from the middle. For this, I will open the tile action safe. Now I have here the middle and that's what I'm looking for. I press Alt and roll to get inside the middle here. Now I have here the info panel. I will take the ruler, I click on it when the cursor becomes a double arrow and drag it down. I will drag it down until it's in the middle. Now I know my composition is 720 height, so the middle will be 360. So I'm looking in the info panel to get 360 and here I am on 360. I will do the same. I know it's 1280, so the half of it is 640. So I will look for 640. Now look at the info panel. I cannot move the mouse. You will find that we are on 640 and 360 exactly. I will let go. So now if I come back to 100%, I have the guides here 100% in the middle. I can decide to remove the rulers, Ctrl R, and also I will remove the tile action safe, and I have my guides just in the middle. I come to view and say snap to guide, and I come to view again and say lock guide. Cool. I will zoom in as much as I can and get this one in the middle, and then use the pen tool, click in the middle, then come up as much as I can. For example, where is the end? I can roll this mouse and I will say, okay, I'm gonna make a line like this. And let's make it, for example, 10 for now. Now, I don't trust this seriously. I have to readjust them. I will take the selection tool, zoom in, come to the shape layer, come to contents, come to shape and go to path. And then find the path here and then I want to move it. I want to snap it just 100% in the middle. Now, why am I doing this work? It's very important that you do this work, because the pen tool and the anchor points are really not good friends. And somehow the pen tool, even if you manipulate it from the path from here, it will still take in consideration the anchor point of the whole layer when you're doing rotations, and it becomes a bit confusing. So the best way to do it is this way, when you put your pen just in the middle, the first vertex or the first point, and then the second one anywhere you want on a straight line. Cool. You don't need to do that if you are not doing any rotations. If you're doing rotations, you must be precise, but without rotations, you're okay. I will go to my selection tool. Now I have my famous stroke here. Immediately I will come to stroke, and this is what I like. I'll come to the line cap, change from butt to round. Makes it more civilized, if you want to say. Cool. I want to create an animation, and for that I will be using the trim path. That's the only way, the only practical way to animate the pen tool. In the trim path, I will create now with the start and the end a simple animation that I want, of course, to make sure I will repeat later on. I will use the start and end to create a simple trim path animation. I'll click on start, click on end, make end 0%. That's cool. I will come after 1 second and I can take the start to 100% and the end to 100%. So actually nothing is happening unless you move the last keyframe to the side. And look what's happening now. There is this bar that's coming up and going away. Cool. That's pretty nice. I think we already did something like this. Now the best is to take this one inside, and if you run, you notice it's coming and going. So you have the choice, either the end comes outside or the end comes inside, as long as there is a difference between the keyframes. That's okay. Now this last keyframe, I don't want to take it to 100%. I will make it, for example, 90%, and then move a bit and make it just a bit 100%. So notice the animation is a bit different. These are the techniques that makes an animation beautiful or not. We have a problem, is not going to 100%. It's 99, that's a 100%. Cool. I'll click on 2 seconds here and press N to bring the work area and to 2 seconds. Fine, I will select all my keyframes and press F9 and go to the graph. Now this is very bad. Notice what's happening. I will take the start here. The start is dying and then reviving to move. I will select these keyframes. I can also click on start and go to fit selection to view, and I can see them here. Now this is very bad because it will really kill the animation. It will stop. I will select this keyframe and make it continuous Bezier or auto Bezier. Now the animation is much better because it will go up and start smoothly going down, and this is not bad at all. If you zoom in a bit, you can really adjust this one. For example, take it like this, something like this, not much, something beautiful, but you don't want a breakpoint here. Okay, you want to make sure that it is very smooth. That's fine. Let's take this one a bit outside. I press Ctrl and Shift to stay on the line. Notice it's becoming negative here, but you don't care because when it's negative, it will be 0. Let's run the animation from here and see. It looks very smooth now and pretty nice, by the way. Cool. Let's go back and take all our keyframes. We zoom out, take all our keyframes and shorten the time by pressing Alt and moving it to the inside. So now we have a pretty fast animation. Let's run a RAM preview, or let's run a preview or play it. RAM preview is the old way. We used to say RAM preview. It was written RAM preview here. Fine, I'm happy from that. Cool. What else I'm gonna do? I will start using now the repeater. Now, what are my choices? I have the trim path outside the shape inside the content. This is not practical for what I want to do. I will take the trim path and drop it inside the shape. Now, I like the trim path to come inside the shape under the stroke. I don't like it above the stroke. The fill here is totally useless. Let's press delete and remove it. Cool. So now we have a very nice animation. Let's start using the repeater. I will come to the repeater and add the repeater inside. And let's decide how much we are going to repeat. So it is repeating 3 times. That is not what we want. Or we want it 4 times, for example. And then come to a transform repeater. We don't want the position. We want to rotate it. That is 360 over 4. And here you are. You have 4 of them coming in and with that. Cool. Fantastic. Now, this is not enough. I will come to the shape here. I will duplicate the shape. So now I have 2 shapes, one on top of the other. I have the choice now. I can come to the transform shape 2 and rotate it. Let's stop it here. And let's say we rotate it. Notice it's going to rotate very nicely. So actually we want to rotate it 45 degrees. And now they are all equal size. It's beautiful. It's very beautiful animation if this is what you want. Now they are all rounded. If you notice, they're going just around rounded. I want this one to be shorter to make like a straight line here. How do I do that? I will come to path here and click on the path. So I have the path here. I will come somewhere where I can see a lot of line. So now I will click on the node here and press shift and take it down. I have to be careful not to rotate it. You see now it has snapped at 45 degrees. Let's click out. Let's run our animation. It is totally different character now. But before I leave you to start creating a new one and start manipulating this one, we need to add the shadow. Let's go to effects and write a shadow here. And we take the drop shadow will do. We take it and drop it on the layer. Of course, we want to come to the drop shadow. Let's reduce the opacity. We know a lot about this. And then we move the distance. That is cool. Then we move the angle a bit. We can put it over here. I want more distance. It's up to you and to your taste. Now, this is cool, but let's make the opacity even less. Yep. So we run our animation. We come to the preview and say play. Here you are. Of course, I want to view and we don't want to show the guides anymore. And we have our animation that is very beautiful. And I will see you in the next lecture where we are going to take this animation, manipulate it, and get even better ones. I'll see you in the next lecture.